Hello everyone, and how are you guys? I was just having some trouble starting the session, but I believe it has gone through and it is working. I'll just give it a minute until I'm very sure that it has in fact started, and it has. Good to know, good to know. Excellent, superb. Happy to be here. Very happy to meet you all here. Very exciting session. A lot of weird stuff is about to happen right now in front of you guys. I've never done this before. And we are going to go into deep tech. We are going to go inside artificial intelligence, inside the mind of the UPSC. We will just see today what this exam is all about. Why is this so unpredictable? Why is it so complicated to capture? Why can't we simply triangulate it like we do other exams? What is it? क्या है इसकी इतनी बड़ी mystery? Exactly क्या है? Well, let us see. I'm going to give you some live demos today of the artificial intelligence of various systems and everything that I've done. I'll tell you one thing. What I did in the past month, it has literally opened my mind and my eyes to what is happening in the world. I think we are at the edge of some very drastic changes. I think we are very lucky to be alive. I think we are at the right time, at the right place. We are all very well positioned to be born at this time, and I'll tell you why all of that. But first, I must tell you about the basic stuff, and not the basic stuff, but the fundamental, the more important stuff. I understand many students. I know Dhanasari, Komal, Farha, Dream Labasna is one student of mine. But definitely Dhanasari is. Many students are preparing for prelims. I know the exam appears, anxiety peaks, stress increases, बहुत difficult हो जाता है. I completely understand. Every year I do it. This year also I will do it. As the prelims approaches, last final days, my frequency of meeting will increase, and I will do certain meditation sessions with you, and I'll also take you through the mind control. What I'm going to do in the last few days, I do this every year and it works. I'm going to minimize your error rate. I'm going to make sure whatever is in your head is accessible on exam day. And I'm going to give you some mantras, and I'm going to give you some meditation techniques which have worked for me, that have worked for others. There are people, I may introduce you to some people who did that last year, and they say when that weird and that googly of an exam came last year, especially CSAT, stuff like that saved them. बच गए क्योंकि पैनिक नहीं करे वो. और पैनिक ना करना is not, I think it's not a question that you can control वहां बैठे बैठे. It's not something that you will either do or you won't. Are you prepared for that or are you not? उससे फर्क पड़ता है, और उसकी थोड़ी सी तैयारी करनी होती है. वो हम तैयारी करके जाएंगे एग्जाम में. और पिछले अगले 2 हफ्ते में, लास्ट 2 हफ्ते में वी विल डू दैट. नाउ let me get to the interesting part. Sridhar, let us go straight to the really super stuff. Can the UPS exam be predicted? You will say yes, perhaps you might say no. What do you think? क्या ये actually में predictable है? Do you think that now with the technology or whatever being the situation, you can predict this? 2025, yes, absolutely relevant. More relevant for 2025, I would say. बिल्कुल है relevant. You take your time to watch it later also. I won't impose it on you. Do you think this exam can be predicted to a reasonable degree? क्या हम इसको predict कर सकते हैं? We can predict more or less UGC. We can predict PCS exams. ये ठीक है, we know it set pattern होता है, and we can get it. How do you think this exam can be predicted? What logic will you use? So I have to go into some computer science a little bit in this session because कुछ चीजें I will have to show you. Do you think it can be done? Maybe yes. So I actually took this challenge. I'll tell you about PYQ analysis. That's a very interesting point. PYQ analysis actually doesn't lead us anywhere much. ये जो PYQ analysis वाला जो वो है, I tried this. वो तो हर कोई करता है. Everybody will do it. Everybody will try to do that, but वो नहीं होता है. It doesn't work because that's what everybody will do. And I'll tell you what. I took this intellectual challenge because I wanted to take this intellectual challenge. I wanted to see. There has been some new technology which has appeared. ये technology अभी से पहले नहीं थी. This technology was not there before. Given the situation, क्या कोई ऐसी चीजें change हो गई हैं जो हमको advantage दे सकती हैं? Disproportionate advantage. Can the exam completely be predicted? I tried, and here is what we are going to do. We are going to do a live experiment right here, right now, of predicting this year's paper with the help of previous year question. Are you willing to do that experiment with me right here, right now? If you want to, Then I will share my screen and I'll actually show you because I have everything ready. लास्ट ईयर का क्वेश्चन पेपर लेंगे, जैसे माय फ्रेंड इजी मैथ्स हैज सजेस्टेड कि पीवाईक्यू एनालिसिस से शायद हम प्रेडिक्ट कर पाएं. लेट अस सी क्या होता है. आई हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, आई हैव रिड्यूस्ड ऑल द नॉइज. सिर्फ क्वेश्चंस हैं उस टेक्स्ट में एंड आई विल टेल यू हाउ दैट. देखो सनू, सीसैट को प्रेडिक्ट करने का तो कोई पॉइंट है नहीं बिकॉज दैट इज मैथ. I don't think you need to predict math. You can't do that. Either you know the math or you don't, right? GS की बात अलग है. I am saying और मेरी आर्ग्यूमेंट है कि ये प्रिडिक्टेबल है और बहुत ज्यादा प्रिडिक्टेबल होता चला जा रहा है अब because of certain things which I'll show you. ठीक है, okay. Now that you're ready for it, let me show you. Let me show you one document. Let me take you straight to ChatGPT. See the ChatGPT Omni पे चलेंगे. You know Omni is the recent version that has just recently been released of ChatGPT. You know, this is Omni. Here is what I did. First what I did was I will use a mix of both and I'll try to make sure कि सबको समझ में आ जाए. I'll just try to effortlessly, if I can, I'll seamlessly blend the languages, Hindi, English, both. In any case, कोई बात नहीं. Subtitles will come to your rescue later and you will understand the fundamentals of what I'm saying. So, first step, I took the entire question paper of the UPSC and I put it through OCR. I put it through a OCR plugin inside ChatGPT. There are these plugins. See, if you know how to use this tech, let me show this to you. Let me also try to maximize this. You put it through OCR so that it cleans all the noise. You see this OCR with GPT Vision. This I used to clean all the noise so that only the questions remain. Only the questions remain. Yeah, it's a LLM. OCR with GPT Vision will take you there. What I did was, everything I got from the questions and then I went to ChatGPT Omni and I said, I gave it the PDF. You see this PDF? Let me zoom this so that you can see actually what I did. Can you see this uploaded PDF? This uploaded Word document. ये Word document, let me zoom it even further so that you can read it. This is the Word document which contains all the questions of previous year, 100 questions of the prelims. This is what I told it. This is UPSC paper from previous year. Please go through it in detail, analyze all the questions and all the keywords. This is very important. अभी आगे और पता चलेगा क्यों. Try to deduce why each question was worth asking in the exam by searching the web for each question and output a list of at least 100 topics from which this year's prelim can be predicted. Right? This is my prompt. Okay? This is the output. It starts to analyze and it starts to figure out these keywords and why it was important. This is very important for me. This is going to help me later. And I'll tell you. तो हिंदी का जो ट्रांसलेशन है वो ये है कि चैट जीपीटी को एक डॉक्यूमेंट दिया गया जिसमें यूपीएससी 2023 जीएस पेपर के सारे क्वेश्चंस थे. उसको ये प्रॉम्प्ट दिया गया और जीपीटी को बोला गया कि इसका वो करिए, आप एनालिसिस करिए, सब कीवर्ड का एनालिसिस करिए और ये ढूंढिए कि कैसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों था, वो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों था कि वो पेपर में पूछा गया. और ये उसकी एनालिसिस है. दिस इज द एनालिसिस. 100 outputs. It did 100 outputs of every keyword. Notice these keywords: Korkai, Pompuhur, Muchiri. These are not keywords you will easily have heard somewhere. Notice Vatti Kirutal in Sangam literature. This was a question जो अभी last year पूछा गया था. Many people did not get it correctly because it is not a very well known keyword. तो keywords पे notice करिए, थोड़ा सा ध्यान से देखिए. संगम पोएम सबको पता है. Sangam poem, Sangam literature is well known. Sangam literature has been asked also previously, but इतने डेप्थ में नहीं कि हम उसके एक लेवल नीचे जाके ये वर्ड हम पहचान जाएं. और ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई विल टेल यू अभी क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है. डायनेस्टीज पे आते हैं, यहाँ पर इस टाइप के कीवर्ड्स आते हैं. ये वाले कीवर्ड्स मोर और लेस जाने माने हैं. दिस इज ओके. वॉइसाला, गहदावला, ऑल्दो आई हैव नॉट रिसेंटली हर्ड ऑफ गहदावला एंड ककाटिया, बट कुछ होयसाला डायनेस्टी तो सुनी हुई है. ठीक है. We come downstairs, we see another list of strange keywords जो कि ज़्यादा सुनने में नहीं मिलते. मिलिंद पन्ना सुनने को मिलता है. This is common enough. The others are not common enough. And again, I'll tell you क्यों है ये, why it is. You don't need ChatGPT 4. आकाश, I will do everything. I am just showing you क्या हो सकता है और क्या नहीं हो सकता है. I'm not saying you purchase this. I'm just demonstrating something, and there will be a tangible gateway. You just listen. You don't need to do anything. Don't purchase anything at all. Okay, 100 outputs मुझे मिले. I put all the 100 outputs back. I said, ये सारे के सारे 100 outputs. By the way, I will be sharing all of these with you on the email. I have stored all of these in a Word document. I will be sharing all of these. तो ये तो कुछ गंदे से थे. I told it. ये देखो ये निकले हैं. These are the keywords that have been given. These are not great keywords. Notice this. No father swam. Kannam salt plants. These are not great keywords. ये वही keywords हैं जो क्वेश्चन पेपर में थे. इसमें कोई बहुत ज़्यादा predictive power नहीं है. समझ रहे हो? This also I will share with you. इसने क्या keywords निकाले. But it has not done a great job. This is the point. It will be able to really organize the content very well, very efficient, but it will not be able to predict. I'll tell you why it will not be able to predict. It doesn't understand why something is important enough to be in the exam. इसको ये नहीं पता है कि एग्जामिनर के दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है. इसको ये नहीं पता है कि why something so important that it gets asked. That is what it needs to understand. जब तक हम इसको ये नहीं बताएंगे, ये प्रेडिक्शन नहीं कर सकता उस लेवल की. So जो हमारी कॉमन सेंस कहती है प्रेडिक्शन के बारे में, we will look at previous year questions, we will try to see if this was asked then maybe this can be asked, और उसका जो भी फर्स्ट कजन सेकंड कजन होगा that may be asked. उस बेसिस पे सब लोग प्रेडिक्शन करते हैं और हमेशा वो प्रेडिक्शन फेल होती है, उससे कुछ नहीं होता. That is what my starting point was. Now I will be sharing this list with you, but I don't think this list is super important. The other list that it had outputted is, I will share this. All of this, every content I show, I will send this to you via email before tonight. Before midnight tonight, it will be in your inbox. All of it. Do not worry. This, let me proceed further. Now, here is what I did. Did you notice the keywords? Did you notice that on every question it was picking keywords? Yes. That we saw when it analyzed all the data, when it analyzed the question paper. Keywords निकल रहे थे. Keywords थोड़े difficult type के थे. Especially कुछ ऐसे keywords थे जो नहीं सुने हुए थे. We saw that happen. That was clear enough. Correct? What I wanted to do is I wanted to make a list of all the keywords out there in the world. All keywords which are relevant for anything which is in the UPSC syllabus, all keywords of Indian history, even if there are 10 million keywords. 10 million keywords, for a machine it doesn't matter. Machine can do what I will ask it to do. I can put it through 100 million keywords of economy. Machine को फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, but human के scope के बाहर है वो. It is completely outside the scope of the human. That is what I started to try and do. Right? And here is what happened. Here is what I figured. I figured that the UPSC is difficult because they use a certain trick. It's not a trick. It's actually the nature of the exam. सबसे बड़ा एक important takeaway ये है कि knowledge की depth होती है. There is a depth into knowledge. There is level 1, level 2, level 3. Please understand, I am talking about knowledge. And I am talking about knowledge from the point of view of taxonomy. Let me show you also, perhaps let me show you visually what is a taxonomy. You know, like you have species, genera, and you have then various animals, and you have, you have a categorization. That is the taxonomy I'm talking about. I'm not able to give you a very good example of it, but you know what I'm saying, right? There is a hierarchy of life. At the top of it, you have animals, you have plants, you have mycelium, you have mushroom. Inside animals, you have all these different categories of genera, etc. Inside them, you have species. Inside the species, you have breeds. You understand that taxonomy, that hierarchy, that tree? That tree is what happens in knowledge also. I figured and I started to use that approach. I said, what is happening is that knowledge is structured into layers. There is a level 1 which is broad based. There is a level 2, there is a level 3. Level 1 is just basic stuff like India, like Constitution. इस टाइप के जो वर्ड्स हैं जो हम बार बार सुनते हैं, those are just level 1 keywords. ये जो level 1 to 3 है, these are keywords. हाँ, correct. Yes, yes, you got it. If you go one level down, अगर आप एक level down जाओगे, suppose level 1 keyword is Indian polity. Level 1 keyword is Indian polity. Level 2 में you will find governor, you will find president, you will find constitution, you will find article 19, article 20, all articles you will find in level 2, but you will not find anything further than level 2. In level 3, you will find even further classification down. If you go into article 19, it will give you level 3 keywords, a lot of level 3 keywords. वो फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट्स देने स्टार्ट कर देगा आपको. Okay, understand this. This is important, and this is a very important prediction, not only for prediction, but the way we approach the UPSC exam, the way our brain works, and the way we process information. That is why I wanted to do this session with you. There is a hierarchy. Level 1 is India, polity. Level 2 is governor, president, constitution. Basically, everything which is written in the index of your Lakshmikant book is a level 2 keyword. Okay, so far so good. इतना क्लियर है, इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. लेवल 3 is what happens below it which may not be found in the book. This is the thing. This is the key point. Level 3 keywords may not be found in the book. Number 1. This is number 1. ठीक है. Keyword की एक hierarchy है. That's the first thing. The hierarchy is growing in complexity and depth. That is 2. Level 3 keywords are not found in the book most of the time. And here is the thing. Here is the thing which is really important. Every time you go from one level to the next, the number of keywords increases exponentially. Every time you go from one layer to the next layer of keyword, the level of the number of keywords increases exponentially. Level 1 पे कम keywords होंगे, level 2 पे बहुत सारे होंगे, but उतने नहीं होंगे. Level 3 में उससे raised to the power 10 हो सकते हैं. That is why it is hard to predict. And look at this. Suppose take this example, if you will. Kamarajar Port, Mundra Port, Visakhapatnam Port. Kamarajar Port, first major port in India, registered as a company, largest privately owned, largest. What do you think these are level 2 or level 3 keywords? Are they level 2, level 3 keywords? ये जो first question में है, Kamarajar Port, Mundra Port, Visakhapatnam Port. What are they? Level 1, level 2, level 3. What type of keyword depth do you think this is that we are dealing with? What's your best guess at that? I honestly think these are level 2 type. More or less level 2, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1 level 3, but level 2 type keywords only. Correct, Akash. That's actually correct. This is level, I think it's level 2 or somewhere maybe level 3, but take a look at the other question. Take a look at the other one. Jackfruit, mahua, teak. How many of the other are deciduous? देखो, honestly, I think this is level 2. Let us go one level deep. ये देखो. अच्छा, tell me one thing. And that's an important question. One question is asking us, what ports are what category of ports? Largest port. So what makes this question difficult? What makes this question difficult? Frankly speaking, this question is not difficult. This question is also not difficult to predict. If you have done your static content properly, you will be able to get this question. इतना कोई difficult question नहीं है, इतनी इसमें कोई trick नहीं है. Moderately easy question है ये, moderate question है. That much we can agree on. The other one is also moderately easy. It is just examples of deciduous tree. The other example is also relatively easy. सिर्फ deciduous trees के example पूछ रहा है, आपको पता है या नहीं पता है? Maybe jackfruit and mahua and teak, maybe one of them is level 3, but that doesn't matter. मतलब difficulty, इतनी कोई difficulty ज़्यादा है नहीं. We can answer. अगर अच्छी knowledge है और NCERT वगैरह बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ी है, बहुत अच्छे से, तो आंसर हो जाएगा. Look at this. Take a look at these ones. Which of the following is the best example of repeated falls in sea levels giving rise to present-day extensive marshland? Here, notice this. Notice the keywords. Bhitarkanika is not a very uncommon word. Bhitarkanika हम पढ़ते हैं. It gets, that word will be found. that word will be found in your preparation somewhere without a question. Marakaram salt pans, not easily found. That is a level 3 keyword. Marakaram is a level 3 keyword. Now Pada swamp is a level 3 keyword. Run of Kutch also is a level 2 keyword. So there are two level 3 keywords, two level 2 keywords. The reason this question is difficult, is because 50% of the option the level 3 keywords हैं जो सुने ही नहीं हैं. We have not heard two of the four names mentioned, so therefore we find it difficult. If you have not heard them, they are not easy to answer. Why have you not heard them? You have not heard about them because they are level 3 keywords. Why is that important? Because everything that happens beyond level 2 becomes almost impossible to capture easily. That is what's happening. That's what makes it difficult. And I'll tell you, of course, this becomes very interesting as we go along. Take a look at the other one. Question number 6. Ilmenite and rutile, abundantly available in certain coastal tracts of India, are rich sources of which one of the following metals? Aluminium, copper, iron, titanium. Again, ilmenite, rutile, हो सकता है कहीं ना कहीं हो NCERT में, but it is not something we easily capture. Level 3 keyword. The reason that it is difficult is that it was a level 3 keyword. We did not capture it because it is not easily found. Had I known through any means necessary, through any possible exposure I might have had in my life to ilmenite or rutile, I would have answered this question like this. That's where general knowledge comes into the picture. I can't easily capture this from my books, my standard books at least. Altaf, I'll tell you. I will tell you everything. I can't capture this level 3 keywords normally from my books, so I have to depend on my general knowledge. Kahin suna hai, if it has passed through my eyes, then I will be able to capture it. The reason this was difficult, ilmenite, rutile, is because it's not easily heard of. Take a look at the third one. And this is a very interesting, very, very interesting question. About 3/4 of the world's cobalt, a metal required for the manufacture of batteries of electric vehicles, is produced by which country? Why was this difficult? Well, this was difficult because, first of all, it was in the news because of electronic vehicles. And second, it's not something you will easily capture or want to remember. हम कोबाल्ट के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं सोचेंगे, हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल जरूर पढ़ लेंगे. Now, let me go. We can guess, but हम guess करते हैं तभी तो गलती होती है ना. That is why we fall into the trap of negative marking. Let me go further and let me tell you this. So all keywords are proper nouns. As long as keywords are proper nouns, I should be able to predict what the keywords will be if I can make my machine or my artificial intelligence system crawl the entire internet. If my AI can crawl the entire internet, it can find proper nouns. Correct? Proper nouns. Ilmenite, rutile, proper noun. Naupada swamp, proper noun. Bhitakanika swamp, proper noun. Cobalt, proper noun. Even if it is a L2 keyword, proper nouns है ना ये सारे के सारे. That initially in the session what we had seen, all those keywords that AI was generating, almost all questions are based on some of the other keywords. They are all proper nouns. I'll tell you why that's important. I did something with it. I'll show you. Here is, let me now share my screen and show you what I did. I don't want you to get super excited because the results of this experiment are sobering. They're not super big. It's not like something magical has happened. We did learn a few very valuable things. Look at this. Look at what is in front of you. I actually did this. This is a huge list. A huge list. Do you see the number of keywords there are? I think there are at least 50,000 or 1 lakh keywords. These are all keywords. All of them are keywords. All of them are keywords taken from one website. They are all, I'll tell you what is level 1, what is level 3. This is a one-line description of it. This is the relevance to the UPSC. And this is the frequency. This is where the magic lies. I'll tell you this is why the magic lies here. Here is my argument. Here is my argument and the methodology on why the UPSC examination is predictable and can be predicted. Number one, if I am dealing with anything current affair based, or if anything, if I can triangulate the source could be PIB, source could be any Nature magazine, the source could be Scientific American magazine, the source could be Hindu newspaper, whatever. My argument is, if it is a L1 keyword, अगर वो L1 keyword है, तो it will appear many number of times, बहुत बारी टेक्स्ट में मिलेगा. इंडिया जैसा कीवर्ड मुझे बहुत बारी मिलेगा उस टेक्स्ट में, उस पूरी वेबसाइट पे. अगर मैं बहुत सारे पेजेस को क्रॉल करूंगा, अगर इफ आई क्रॉल थ्रू गीगाबाइट्स ऑफ डेटा, इंडिया जैसा कीवर्ड मुझे बहुत ज्यादा बारी मिलेगा. जो थोड़ा सा रेयर कीवर्ड है वो मुझे कम बारी मिलेगा, और जो उससे भी रेयर है वो बिल्कुल कम बारी मिलेगा मुझे. करेक्ट? द रेयरर द कीवर्ड, the less I am likely to find it in my text. That is my fundamental argument. That is what we saw. This is precisely what we saw. This is the frequency on which the keyword was found. See, this keyword, the frequency is 9. इसका मतलब ये L3 नहीं है. ये frequency मुझे बता रही है कि डेप्थ का कीवर्ड है. ये L3 नहीं है. ये L1 या L2 टाइप का है. क्या है कीवर्ड? पेलियोबायोलॉजिस्ट. अब ऑब्वियसली पेलियोबायोलॉजिस्ट थोड़ी ना कोई क्वेश्चन पूछेगा. पेलियोबायोलॉजिस्ट विल नॉट बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. It will not be asked in the exam. Let us take another example of a keyword that has appeared only once. Only once. If a keyword has appeared, then that is not even L3. It is even down below the L3, and it will never be asked by the UPSC. It will never be asked by the UPSC if it has appeared only once, especially if I scroll through a huge amount of data. Take this. This is the name. Parongama Sen. This must be some researcher. अब researcher कोई नहीं पूछेगा. Obviously UPSC will not ask. UPSC will ask where the keyword frequency is 3 or 4 or 5. That is the type of keywords I am after. That is the type of keywords that are required. That is the type of keywords I did not know when I was trying to give the exam. Ilmenite, Roomite, Nopada swamp. All of those keywords were L3 keywords. I missed them. Simple question they asked in economics, I missed it. InVIT they asked. It's a type of investment. Instrument. It is a L3 keyword. I could have captured it. I could have. Can I do this for the whole of one website? This, what you are seeing, is just one website that was crawled. एक वेबसाइट क्रॉल करी गई है, तो आप ये देख रहे हो, इसमें कम से कम 50,000 कीवर्ड हैं. इसके बाद if I go deeper, if I start doing the same thing for history, if I start doing the same thing for economics, will I not arrive at a very long list of keywords? Tell me this. अगर भीतरकनिका स्वैम्प या इल्मेनाइट रूमनाइट या कोबाल्ट या इस टाइप का कोई भी कीवर्ड वहां पर मेंशन है, तो क्या वो मेरी लिस्ट में नहीं पकड़ा जाएगा? If I crawl the whole of the internet, subject wise, will I not find them somewhere? Will I not capture them somewhere? And will the frequency not match the depth of it will tell me the depth of the keyword. Correct? You understand my argument, what I'm telling you, where I'm going with it? It requires a little bit of abstract thinking, थोड़ा सा, but इतना भी नहीं. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I tried to do. However, and I'll be very honest, this project could not be completed because right now the technology does not exist, because you need enormous amounts of computation power. But we are very, very close to doing this. Actually, this will happen. You see, and after all, even if anybody is sitting there and is trying to analyze everything and is trying to be random and they're trying to be unpredictable, ultimately you will find yourself in my keyword list. You can't escape that, because I am scanning bottom up. I'm not scanning top down. I'm not thinking about what the previous year question was so that I can predict this year's question. That is just a top down approach. I am looking at all the data of human knowledge put together. I am scanning up and I have like a net, you might say. I have like a net and I take the net up और जो important keywords है वो उसमें फंसते चले जाते हैं. and I'm left with a very long list. It's a long list. It won't be a short list, but ये long list होगी. But वो keywords उसमें कहीं ना कहीं मुझे मिलेंगे. This year, we could not do it because of computation power. Computation power कम पड़ गई, नहीं हुआ, but next year it will happen. It will happen. However, I do not want the sanctity of the exam to be destroyed. Never. वो नहीं होना चाहिए कभी भी. होगा सिर्फ ये. I'll tell you and let's be realistic about it. एक लंबी सी लिस्ट निकलेगी, हम बस उस लिस्ट के हिसाब से पढ़ाई करेंगे और कुछ नहीं होगा. Instead of just focusing on the content and then finding keywords, we will have keywords first and then read the content. That is the only difference that it will make. But yes, that will make a huge difference in our lives because we won't have to spend that much time. We won't have to consume that information like mad people. We may not even require any unnecessary coaching. We may not. If we know where it's going to triangulate, we will always need, and we will never be able to escape. We will require conceptual understanding, context. See, these are all keywords. ये भी important चीज है. We should always believe and understand this. Context के बिना नहीं हो पाएगा. Context सिर्फ human understanding से ही आता है. ये सिर्फ हमारा काम आसान कर सकता है. It can just point the way. It can say ये पढ़ लो. इसकी probability ज़्यादा है क्योंकि बहुत extensive logic और computation लगा हुआ है. It will not be able to give the context. अगर suppose UPSC wants to ask you a concept, it wants to ask you a concept about a L3 keyword, it want to ask you something or the other about the other swamp, sorry, and so they can ask a conceptual question about it. Swamps are found because 4 reasons. वो दे देंगे. Why do you think in India these swamps are found? तो वो conceptual understanding हमको कोई keyword analysis नहीं दे सकता. That was what I wanted to say. Now, going further, it is not the end. What does this mean for you? इन सारी की सारी एनालिसिस हो गई. It took me a lot of time. मेरा बहुत टाइम लगा और बहुत मेहनत लगी और बहुत लोगों का बहुत दिमाग लगा इसमें. This is what we had found, and I've reported to you exactly what we found. What was the approach? क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ? I've told you. Now, what does this mean for you? अभी आज की डेट में how do we use all of this information? I have 4 important things to tell you. Number 1, when the exam comes, whether it's in 2024 or it is in 2025, certain things in the UPSC exam will not change anytime soon. One of those things is you cannot afford to get any of the L2 keyword questions wrong. If the keyword around that question is L2, cobalt वाला question जो था, जैसे जो पोर्ट्स वाला क्वेश्चन था, जो फर्स्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस थे, जो मोर और लेस इजी क्वेश्चन थे, जो बहुत डिफिकल्ट नहीं थे, these ones, we cannot afford to get these wrong. Because why? Because everything else will be L3 and nobody will know it, most likely. And even if somebody knows it, I can be very sure that they will know it by chance. They will not know it by design. They will not know it by preparation. Their preparation cannot be that different from mine so that they know too many L3 keywords and I do not know them. अगर उनकी preparation और मेरी preparation more or less comparable है, तो I will also know as many L3 keywords as that guy knows. I can't be at a very big disadvantage. I might be at a small disadvantage, but it can't be that big. It can't be that big that it leaves me at least 10 marks below the cutoff. That cannot happen. Logically, that's not possible. So, coming back to the points, you can never miss L2 keyword based questions. That is just another way of saying what has been said to you many times before. Static, the entire fight will be fought on the static questions, on the moderate questions. The ones who get the higher accuracy rate in the moderate questions will win. If you get a higher accuracy in moderate difficult questions, which are basically L2 keywords, you will win. If you get them wrong, you are definitely losing. L3 keywords do not determine the outcome of the cutoff. Second super important takeaway, L3 keywords do not determine the outcome of your cutoff or your performance. To capture L3 keywords, in order to capture L3 keywords, you need to have width. Now this is important, it's थोड़ा सा confusing है, so I'll elaborate on it a little bit. See, L2 keywords हमारे books में लिखे हुए हैं सारे. L2 कीवर्ड लेवल की नॉलेज बुक्स में मिल जाएगी. हमको बहुत थरोली करनी है, बहुत 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 थरोली करनी है, इतनी थरोली करनी है कि इट शुड बी मेमोराइज, रेडी होनी चाहिए। कहीं भी किसी भी बुक से, स्टैंडर्ड बुक से, एनसीईआरटी लेवल की बुक से कुछ आया तो पता होना चाहिए। डेसिडुअस ट्रीज के एग्जाम्पल गलत नहीं हो सकते, पता होने चाहिए। कौन सा पोर्ट किस टाइप का पोर्ट है, पहला पोर्ट कौन कब बना था, सबसे बड़ा पोर्ट कौन सा है, सबसे छोटा कौन सा है, सब ये तो पता होना ही चाहिए, इसमें कोई डाउट है नहीं। देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन अबाउट दैट। इफ यू हैव नॉट डन दैट, देयर इज समथिंग सीरियसली रॉन्ग विद द होल प्रिपरेशन स्ट्रेटजी। वो नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग दैट। सेकेंड, हम L3 कीवर्ड के पीछे नहीं भागेंगे, वी कैन नॉट रन आफ्टर देम बिकॉज दे आर लॉजिकली इम्पॉसिबल टू कैप्चर। रिमेंबर व्हाट आई मेंशन्ड इन द बिगिनिंग, L2 कीवर्ड्स अगर 10,000 है तो L3 कीवर्ड्स 10 करोड़ है। That exponential increase makes it impossible for us to track. That is the only trick which the UPSC has up its sleeve. They will just pick some L3 keywords. They know that there are too many to be captured in books. They know there are too many to be captured in standard books. So therefore, people will find it difficult. That's all there is to it. There's really nothing more. So if you are going to capture L3 keywords, you do width. You do not do depth. You try to read what you can read. You pay some attention to it. You read widely. You know an L3 keyword if you know it. अगर आंखों के सामने से वो कहीं गया है और हमने ध्यान दिया उस पर, थोड़ा सा ध्यान दिया हमने, we tried to connect with it, we tried to underline it and circle it, we did not try to memorize it, we did not try to spend too much time on it. But if we did encounter it, that is the only possibility that you will be able to maybe capture it. And that too, I told you, will give you a slight advantage, not the main advantage. The main advantage is gained and the main advantage is lost in L2 keywords. L2 keywords, not the L3. Do not run after the L3. You can't capture it. The human cannot do it. It's not possible. Third, when you revise, there are two types of revision. ठीक है, दो types of revision होती है. One revision is I just read the whole thing again and again and again. Repetition. I read Lakshmikant again and again and again. I read Bipin Chandra again and again and again. Or I read my notes again and again. That I can do. That much I have no problem in doing, but I want to do that with L2. I find so many of my students are trying to do that with L3. That is what is not working. You cannot do repeat revisions with L3 because L3 is distributed across a huge amount of knowledge. You cannot read that stuff again and again. You will be lucky. You will be lucky to try and you may get an L3 keyword somewhere. आ गया तो आ गया. That is that type of a thing. But L2 में ऐसा नहीं है. So when you are revising repetition, you need to do extensive repetition for L2 but not for L3. For L3 you revise broadly if you can. Although this is tricky. How will you revise it broadly if you are having to read the whole stuff again? Then what is the meaning of revising broadly? I'll tell you. So this is what I wanted to share with you about the UPSC exam, about artificial intelligence, about predictability, about difficulty. Because when I started to do this stuff, I learned a lot about how the exam is difficult. Why is it difficult? It's very simple. It's difficult because of L3. L3 is exponentially more than L2, and L2 is what we find. L3 is not what we find. That's all there is to it. L2 is our target. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely 100% rightly said. L2 is your target. You capture those and you will be able to clear. You will be competitive. Now, I'm not going to leave you just with this. I mentioned before, and I will make sure that I fulfill that promise. There is a prediction list. I am outputting a prediction list, but this prediction list is not generated through this method. It is generated through conventional methods. It is generated through human intuition. It is generated through human intelligence. It is still a very, very good list. Prediction list, I will share with you this list on your email. It's a list of keywords that are likely. अच्छे keywords हैं, न्यूज़ में थे, वही तो जो बेसिक लॉजिक होता है, न्यूज़ में थे, इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, some issue is ongoing, something related to that in that context. All those keywords I will be sharing with you. This list you will have. Another thing that I will be sharing with you is this. I will be sharing with you a list of 454 questions. Now, this list of 454 questions are based on those keywords. And so I don't think the questions can be predicted, frankly. The questions in this list, those will not be repeated. Maybe you will find some keywords repeated. Maybe you will find some concepts repeated. You understand what I'm saying? This I will share. Now, both these lists, ladies and gentlemen, this list this one and this one have been created by the ladies and gentlemen at over at Testbook who put a lot of hard work in doing it. I have not created these using my methods. That's what I am trying to say. But these are good lists. I will be sharing them with you. That that is what I wanted to share. Very happy that you listened very patiently, and such a complicated thing I described and you were able to follow. So I appreciate your intelligence and your keenness and your enthusiasm for actually trying to do something so hard like the UPSC exam. So you have my support, you have my encouragement. I will be with you through this journey. That much I can promise, I guarantee. That's what I do. Sometimes I have to disappear for some time to work on this stuff. I can't keep appearing all the time because I can't make massive changes unless I get back. I sit back in this room and I figure stuff out. That I cannot do. But there is one surprise for you. One surprise for you. I have been working on this. I have been working on this, ladies and gentlemen. The ultimate UPSC game is coming. It is coming. I will not tell you what it is. I will not tell you what it is. I will tell you this much. This game will, this is a proper game, okay? This is a proper game like Monopoly. It is a game you will sit down and you will play it. It's a board game. It's a proper game. And there are points, there is currency, there is a dice. You will move. Your goal in this game is going to reach Labasna, which is Missouri, which is where the IS training happens. This game is now under production. This game is now under design. This game will be released. All my students will be the first people to get it. The first people to get it. You are going to love it. I guarantee when you play the game, you will revise the whole of NCERT. You will undergo 700 questions. You will be able to revise the whole of the geography of India, and you will do that while having fun. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So that's what's happening, and this is the type of stuff I've been doing. Thank you all for being so patient and for being so smart, really. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have people like you as my student. It's my honor, really. I'm very happy for you to, for you being connected with me. I appreciate it. That's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, today. I'll be seeing you very soon. You guys just keep your cool, okay? If you're attempting the paper, I know how you're feeling right now. You don't need to panic. I've been through this and I've helped many people through it, and I know the cycles now. The cycles मुझे याद हो गए अच्छे से. I know as the days progress क्या होगा psychologically, and before it happens I will tell you क्या होगा and I will give a solution also. Thank you very much, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. Enjoy yourselves. Give my greetings to your parents, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Good night.